What's up, lads? I hope you're having a good day. Just a quick one from me. I'm about to go out for dinner with a beautiful model that I've been dating. And it's not always been this way, that's for sure. I've not been dating beautiful models for my whole life, and I've faced a lot of rejection. And looking back on it, I had a chat with a friend recently. He said, Jack, what was the worst time you ever got rejected from a girl? And there was a moment for me, a rejection that I faced, and I'll tell you the story. A rejection I faced that I think turned me into a man, that actually turned me into the person that's in front of you right now. And it was when I first got to Thailand. I was very naive on the dating front. I was still very kind of blue-pilled. I was not red-pilled at all. I didn't know a lot of the masculinity advice that I give you guys now. The reason I give this advice because I've learned it all the hard way through being kind of ripped apart by girls in my dating life in the earlier days. So when I first got to Thailand, I fucked around a little bit, and I met some girls. I dated a couple of girls, and then there was this one girl that I met in the gym, and she was just the fucking hottest chick I'd ever seen. Just the hottest girl I'd ever seen. I was big on my approaching at the time, so I approached the girl, and she was totally into me. She was down, and I messaged her. I got her Instagram, and I messaged her, and we met up that night. And I didn't really listen to any of my red flags. She was so beautiful that I let all that shit go out the window. So I met this girl. Instantly when we sit down, we go to a bar together, we sit down, and she's talking to her ex. She's still calling her ex and shit, trying to figure out some money, or like, how more glaringly obvious could it be that this is a bad girl to be with? But I wasn't thinking with my head. I was not thinking with my head. So anyway, we have drinks together, we go back to my place, and we end up fucking each other, and she's bought along with her a bag of fucking sex toys, the craziest shit you've ever seen, and blew my mind. I think we banged each other 4 or 5 times that night, which was just, and for me, I was totally into her. I was like, she's so beautiful, she's funny, blah, blah, blah. I was totally caught up in this shit. So anyway, I'm texting this girl, we meet a couple more times, and I'm quite invested now. I'm like, oh yeah, this girl would make a good girlfriend. So I'm kind of invested, and I'm leading with my heart way too early. I'm ignoring red flags, I'm leading with my heart, and I end up seeing this girl a few more times. We're having a real good time when we're together. And then she says, I've got to go traveling. I was like, okay. She was like, yeah, I've got to go traveling, I've got to go do some stuff. I could go traveling with you if you want. Like she just needed to kind of go and travel to get some content or some shit like that. That was the vibe, and she was kind of a bit of an Instagram girl. And so I was like, okay, I didn't have any money at the time. I didn't have any money at all. And I was like, well, I can't. She wanted to go Bali, and I was like, well, I can't take you to Bali. And she was like, okay, that's no problem. I've just got to go and travel for a bit. So I'm FaceTiming this girl every day while she's traveling, and she's meant to come back and meet me after like a week. At the end of that week, we're FaceTiming each other every day. I'm fucking, I love this chick, or whatever I'm thinking in my head at the time, being a dummy. And she didn't come back at the end of the week. And on her stories, she'd flown away traveling with some other rich guy, and was getting bottles in the club with this dude, and was like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, I just got to stay with this guy for a bit. And I was like, I was cut, man. I was fucking, it really messed with my head. But it was the best thing that possibly could have ever happened to me, because it instantly showed me why you have to listen to the advice around dating, why you have to follow rules as a man, and why you have to really pay attention to the red flags and not get yourself into these situations. So that was the first lesson I learned. I was like, I'm an idiot. But I did the G thing. I managed to sort myself out. I was never going to beg for this girl or do anything like that. So I instantly cut her off, stopped replying to her messages, and I was furious. And I was furious in a way that it gave me energy. I was a little bit heartbroken, but I was more angry than anything. When you go through a situation like that, you've got a couple of different emotions. There's a little bit of sort of heartbreak there, or you're feeling a little bit like, and this was only a week, which was why it screwed with me. But sometimes if it's a girl that you really let yourself get involved with mentally, that's why it's so dangerous to get mentally involved right at the start. It can have a big pull, even more than girls that you've dated before. And it was the first time I'd ever have a girl reject me and go with somebody else, the first time in my life. And it made me absolutely furious. And I used that energy. I didn't mope around. I didn't talk about this shit. I didn't message the girl ever again. And I just decided at that point, I'm gonna fucking make something of myself. I'm gonna become so big, so successful that she can never forget the time that she slipped up, that she made the mistake. And it's how I view rejection. There's no such thing as rejection in my world. There's just dumb girls and there's smart girls. Because the smart girls know to stick around and the dumb girls miss an opportunity. And that's how you should see it. So anyone who's going through rejection right now, you've got so much fucking energy. You've got so much fucking anger or just disappointment there or anger with yourself. You channel that into becoming the best version of yourself. You use it as self-improvement rocket fuel, which is what it was for me. And I just hit the gym harder than ever. I hit my content harder than ever. I hit my business harder than ever. And before long, she was back in the DMs. Oh my God, I see you're doing really well. Your YouTube's blowing up. Do you want to go for a drink? I never replied to this girl again. I never spoke to this girl again. She still messages me, still likes my stories to this day, but she'll never get another chance. And I can't tell you how satisfying it is to learn those lessons from a rejection. Look back on it when at the time you thought, fuck, I was a bit heartbroken, and then just think, wow, that's completely changed my life and the man that I was. Because it took me down a road of figuring out how do you find a good girl, how do you make sure that a girl is not going to do this to you again, and how do you become a man that girls want to date? How do you become top dog? Because that's the key. Girls are hypergamous. I believe that's the right way to say the word. Which means that they will always, not always, but a lot of the time switch to the better option. And I just decided there's no other way of being in life than just becoming the top dog. Just become the man that there's no one better than. And then you have no worries. Your girl's never going to leave you for nothing. And there's a lot of other things you can do. I mean, girls are so loyal to me now because of the way you set boundaries and you treat them and the things you accept and don't accept. Like, if I went on a date now with a girl that said stuff like that, I wouldn't even entertain sleeping with the girl. If she was on the phone to her ex, I'd be like, that's not something that I'm interested in. And I would just leave. I would leave instantly. When you get red flags, you have to try very, very hard as a man to never let pussy or beauty cloud your mind. So lads, there you go. And now I'm going for a date in a beautiful Mexican restaurant. It's like 49 floors up in Bangkok, which should be good fun, with a beautiful model who is very nice and behaving correctly. So lads, I hope that's helped you. If you're going for a heartbreak or some kind of rejection right now, use it as fuel. Use it as fuel to the fire to become the man you want to become, and fucking learn to listen to red flags and learn how to understand women and the way they act, because otherwise you don't want to be going through this heartbreak too much. It shouldn't happen to you again. Once you've had that bad one that kind of gets you, you shouldn't be letting it happen twice. So if it's happening to you regularly, learn the rules. We've got some other videos how to identify high quality women, the tests that you put on women. They were a couple days ago. But I just thought that's a good one to give you guys some insight too. So have a good day, lads. If you want to connect with like-minded individuals, you want to join our network, you want to connect with guys doing multi-six figures, 7 figures a year, get around the killer mentality, the savage mentality of winning in all aspects of life, go and check out the New Elite link below and apply, speak to our team, see if you would be a good fit. That's all for me today, lads, and I'll see you on the next one.
Life as a man is harder alone. In the world of men who dare to dream, the path to success can be a lonely road. You're pushing boundaries, but deep down, you know what's missing. The New Elite is an entrepreneurs network, mainly focused on my philosophies around being an elite male. When someone comes in from even a 9 to 5, they're making 10 grand a month, and they see there's a guy who's totally free making 200 grand a month. The things that he can tell you will change your life.
Everything you need is coming to you. The lessons that you need to learn, the money that you want to earn, it's all coming to you in good time. But anything that comes to you before your time will be squandered. The most important thing you can learn is the wisdom. You have to learn the lessons. You have to live the life. The game is not about the trophies. The game is not about what you get at the end, the car that you have, the money that you earn. It's about the
person that you become.